Coming in, you guys. I am back with day number 20 of my Stay-Batical 250. I have been gone for the past 4 days attending the biohacking conference that was down in Orlando, Florida. So Thursday, I pretty much drove all day Thursday. It's about an 8-hour drive from where I live to get to Orlando. And so I drove all day on Thursday pretty much, and then attended the conference on Friday and Saturday. So if you've been watching my Instagram feed, you'll see I did a whole bunch of IG Lives. And so they're still up on IGTV if you want to look at that. Looking at all the latest technologies as it relates to biohacking. I'm kind of a nerd in that way. And so then drove back yesterday. I got up super early and got on the road and got home around midday. I tried watching a little football and just kind of relaxing a little bit, and I realized I'm super tired, so I laid down for a nap. I probably slept for just under 2 hours for the nap, somewhere around 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And I thought, oh man, just went through a spider web. And I thought, oh man, that's gonna mess up my sleep. Well, I go to sleep at 8 o'clock last night, guys, and I don't wake up until almost 5 o'clock this morning. So I think homeboy was tired. So but I have missed being with you guys. And I wanted to talk about a topic that's related to what just happened for me of being away, at a good thing, by the way. I learned a lot of things at that biohacking conference, and trust me, I was not taking it easy at this conference because I was doing a lot of the biohacks on the floor there. I got to get in the Morasco Forge cold ice tank, cold therapy, the thing that I have on order. It's a lot more intense than ice in an ice bath. All kinds of things. So real excited to see what I can incorporate into my routine, but it was a big ass conference floor. So I looked at my step totals using my Oura Ring, and I had comparable, in fact, more steps walking that floor, and because it's a huge hotel and conference center, and I had more steps doing that conference than I do all my stuff I do in my daily routine. And so I was not worried about getting in steps. I knew that was not going to be a problem, but I have missed connecting with you guys. So what I wanted to talk about here today is the value of a consistent routine. And I got to tell you, these last 4 days have been a challenge in as much as I have already been doing all of these things during this Stay-Batical 250. And I've kind of trained my brain to want those things, to desire those things, so that when I don't get the things in my protocol done, there's something wrong. Now that's the place you want to get to. And what that means is you're used to things, you get into a routine, you recognize the value that they offer you, and you do them. Because a lot of people are like, well, I don't feel motivated to blah, blah, blah today, whatever, just fill in the blank. And I would just ask you, have you made it a routine? If it's something you know you want to do, you need to do, to see the results you want, and then you have that kind of mindset of, well, I'm just going to blow it off today. Is it because maybe it's not in a consistent routine yet? I can tell you, I felt that pull to want to do all the things. Now, I was in a place where I was getting to do not just the things I normally do, but some other things as well. So I don't think I took it completely off, except for the travel days. But that's what I wanted to talk about. Like, I really missed getting on here in the mornings, talking to you guys. I really missed basically the methodicalness of everything I'm doing. And a lot of people were interested in what I was doing. I got to talk to various people at that conference. What are you doing on this Stay-Batical? And I told them all the things, and they're like, wow, you're all in. I was like, I know. It's pretty intense, the things that I'm doing, but it's with intent that I'm doing it. And you guys know that. You've been with me since the start of this journey. You know my goal is not weight loss. My goal is two primary things. I want to see a physical change in body composition, and I want to see mindset change. which I think I'm pretty good on mindset as it is, but you can always be stronger. You can always flex that muscle and try to make it stronger than it is even now. So if you're just joining us, yes, I'm back. It's day number 20 of my Staybatical to 50. This is my 100-day journey, attempting to change my physical body, my mindset, and quite frankly, just to see if I could go 100 days of an intensive protocol, which includes, got another cobweb. They're out early in the morning. I should do like this as I'm walking so I can get all the cobwebs. So it includes walking in the morning for 60 minutes. And then I do an infrared sauna. I do ice bath. I do red light therapy, grounding and sunshine, meditation, vibration plate, eat carnivore on the odd days, fast on the even days. Good morning. And all those things. So doing that for 100 days in a row. So I'm on day 20, 1/5 of the way through it now. By day 50, I'm going to be asking you guys to join me. So I don't want you to do exactly what I'm doing, but you come up with the things that you think will challenge you. And if you do those things that will challenge you, then you can accomplish great things. By the way, I'm on this hill. I'll flip it around because everybody's like, I don't believe you're on a hill. I'm on this hill, and it's a pretty tough little hill. But the other day, I got an email while I was at the conference. I posted it on my stories. But this guy said, man, you're just a lazy fat ass. I can't believe you can't walk without huffing and puffing. Most people can jog and run without breaking a sweat and huffing and puffing. I can't believe it. You're just so out of shape. You're just such a fraud, blah, blah, blah. Typical stuff. I have seen that for years, but it just amazes me. And I've talked about this before, but it just amazes me. When someone is actively really trying to do something for their health and they're putting in the effort, and yes, they're huffing and puffing and climbing hills and being consistent in a routine. And then somebody thinks that adds value. Like, obviously, I know not everybody wants to be on your side for whatever the reasons, but I just find it curious that what does somebody like that think they're going to get out of that comment? Is it going to motivate somebody to want to keep going on? A lot of people will crumble to that. A lot of people will read something like that. Well, if they think I'm just lazy and out of shape, blah, 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 maybe they're right. And then other people might say, well, I'm going to prove them wrong. I'm in between those two. I don't need to prove anybody anything because Jimmy's the only one I answer to. And it's okay that if I climb a steep ass hill that I'm a little bit winded. I'm still a big boy. That doesn't make me a bad person. It doesn't make me all the things that this person said to me in that email. So when I posted it on my stories, had a bunch of people say, give me his email address. I'm going to give him my 2 cents. I said, no, it's not even worth it. Not even worth it. Carolyn says, hey, Jimmy, finishing up my walk. Wow, you got out early today, Carolyn. The sun is still precarious here in South Carolina. I think here in about a month, it's going to be sunrise at 8 o'clock. And I just noticed the time change doesn't happen till like November 6th. So November 6th, 8, something like that. And so if I go live on camera, I want to make sure you can see me. So otherwise it'll be in the dark. Now the next couple of days, it's supposed to be pouring down rain. And getting back to our subject at hand here, the value of a consistent routine. It is so easy to make excuses for why you can't be out here doing the things that you have set as goals, that you have set that you want to do. It's so easy. Oh, it's pouring down rain. I can't possibly do it. You know what Jimmy's gonna do? Jimmy is going to bring an umbrella tomorrow. So I can walk the walk, literally. In Florida, it started when it was dark. Yes. Yeah, it was slightly dark when I started. I try to go live when I think you can see me. But temperature's nice. Upper 60s, low 70s. I like walking this time of day. And this time of year, the humidity is noticeably lower. Because that's the hard part about doing this walk is during the summer when it's warmer, it's just so hard to breathe in that really warm air. I can't wait to be out here in short and t-shirt when it's like 40s, 30s. Because yes, Jimmy is that guy who loves the cold. The Morosco Forge people at the biohacking conference, they were tripping out because I got right into the Morosco Forge. They had the water right at about 35 degrees. And they said, now breathe, make sure that, and they were like, they saw I was not uncomfortable. They're like, you've done ice therapy before. I said, yeah, I have. And I was in there just cracking jokes, having a good time. And they're like, does it hurt at all? The only thing that kind of hurt was my palms. It starts to have this tingling sensation, I guess because that's a warmer part of your body. And so that's the cold water saying, all right, we're going to give you a little bit of pain. But the rest of my body was pretty cool. And then I dipped my vagus nerve below the water. And they're like, you're okay with that? I said, I don't want to come out. I think I stayed in about 5 or 6 minutes. And they're like, sir, we got other people want to get in. I think they were shocked how long I stayed in. Because most people get in for about 1 to 2 minutes. And that's all they can handle. I was in there 5 or 6 minutes and wanted more. So I'm excited about getting my Morosco Forge. I don't know if I'll stay in that thing for an hour. It's probably not good because it does keep the water temperature at a very consistent level of temp. Whereas the bathtub, my body heat warms up the water. So over time it gets warmer the longer I'm in there, but it's still cold. Don't get me wrong, it's still cold. I'm that girl, I'm from San Francisco. Yes, wearing short and t-shirt year round. Yes, I grew up in Pensacola, Florida. And so we wore short and t-shirt year round. No big deal. So then I moved to Tennessee and it's a little harsher winter and I still like shorts and t-shirt. My dad used to make me put on a coat. He'd always make a big deal when I would walk out the door without a coat on. He'd be like, woo, woo, it's cold. Woo. I was like, I'm comfortable. And he'd give me that look with a fist and say, put on the damn coat. I didn't like it because I was always hot. So as an adult, I don't ever wear a coat, hardly. Unless it's like deep cold, like low 20s and teens, then I would put on a coat. But I'd still wear shorts. Shorts, t-shirt with a coat on. That's what I would do. So yes, if you're just joining us, I am back. I've been gone the past 4 days at the biohacking conference. It was Dave Asprey's event in Orlando, Florida. And if you missed any of my videos from there, and you're watching this on replay, on YouTube, Facebook, even IGTV, go back to my Instagram page, Living Low Carb Man, and you can see all of the videos that I did from that conference. Had a whole bunch of them. Got to highlight a lot of the various biohacking companies. And I barely scratched the surface of all the people that were there. These were just the people I connected with and thought they had pretty cool technology. So if that's interesting to you, go check it out. But I'm here today and you guys are being quiet on me. So I want some feedback now on what I'm talking about here today. Do you find that there is value in a consistent routine? Because if you're not doing things consistently, how do you ever hope to like make it where it's something that becomes second nature? Like when I woke up today, and I had killer sleep, by the way, last night. I took a nap yesterday afternoon, and I thought, man, my sleep's gonna suck, and then it was really great last night. Almost 4 hours combined REM and deep sleep, almost 8 hours of total sleep. It was good to be back in my own bed again. But the first thing I thought of when I woke up was, I can't wait to get on that trail to do my walk. That was literally the first thing that popped in my head, because I have made this a consistent routine that I want to do. Even though I've been off of it for 4 days, I was itching to get back on it again. That's a good feeling to have, because if you don't get in the mindset that you're going to do something consistently, how do you hope to ever convince yourself that you're going to do it consistently? You know? So if you just kind of half-ass it, I feel like it today, but I don't feel like it tomorrow, like, what do you do with that? You kind of have to put yourself in the mindset of, this is the way I live my life now, and it's just a part of who I am, like brushing teeth, combing your hair, all the regular things that you do. You got to make this a part of your life. Carolyn says, yes, I started walking in 2017. I look forward to it. At first, it was a real pain. Yeah, you guys know the pain that I experienced when I first started. And yeah, once you kind of get into it, like, look, I was super tired and worn out from that conference when I got back yesterday. I mean, my whole body was just like, ugh. And some of that was physical energy of walking around all the things at the conference. Some of it was emotional, mental energy. Because while it wasn't a keto conference, a lot of people recognized me, so I had to be Jimmy. And so that drains a little bit of energy out of you as well. So when I was asleep last night and I'd get up to go to the bathroom or something, I could feel how heavy my body was and how sore, which is why I think I needed to sleep so long like I did. And when I woke up, I was like, I wasn't tired. I wasn't lacking energy. I was rip-roaring, ready to go. So always check in with yourself to see where you are, and always push through that initial, when you first start, pain. We've all been down the keto journey and the sugar withdrawals and all the things that come with that. It should be no different with any other routine that you do. That's the way I see it anyway. Dawn says a routine is a must to accomplish anything. And so, sorry, I'm at an intersection. I don't want to get run over. Okay, I think I'm all right. Yes, because if you don't get into that normal routine, again, how do you ever hope to accomplish anything? Ask anybody that's been successful at anything. Sports, business, relationships, you name it. Ask anybody who's been successful, and I guarantee you the common denominator between all those groups will be that they were consistent at working on that thing. So if you know people that have a good relationship, I guarantee you they have talked things out. They've gotten into a routine of, if you have a squabble, here's what we do, other things. And then like an athlete, you talk about what it took to train their body, and they'll talk about, I was just consistently out there working out, blah, 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 all the things. So it applies in literally every area of life. That's true, Dawn. Thank you for that. Laurie says, most definitely a consistent routine is so valuable. It creates a habit, and then the motivation gets easier because you see results. And yes, all of that. And that motivation comes from within. Because once you see results, once you feel change that you desire, you want to do it. You have to do it at that point. I think sometimes people are like, I just need something to motivate me I need somebody to motivate me. And I'm like, no. That's on you. That's your job. Now you can have other people inspire you, but motivation, that's on you. And so people that, and I talked about this the other day, people that don't have the motivation to want to get up and be consistent, they don't have a reason why they're doing what they're doing. Because if you have a reason, that's all you need. The reason. And I can tell you today, here on day 20 of my sabbatical to 50, I feel lighter than I have this entire time. I feel stronger. I feel good. Like, you can't discount that adding value to wanting to be consistent as well in the routine, because you just get a little taste of what it feels like. Now, I'm nowhere near where I want to be, physically speaking, but I'm better than I was on day one. A lot better. By the way, the left ankle held up really good at the conference, and it's pretty strong today. I've been bouncing up and down, testing it, and I'm not feeling pain when I jump up and down, so that's a good sign. My low back is doing pretty good as well. Not quite all the way healed. When I got back from the trip yesterday, I went to see the chiropractor, and they were working on the back, and it was better, but it was still not quite all the way. I would at some point soon like to start flipping that tire, but I'm not going to do that until I get the go-ahead from the chiropractor. Good morning. Get the go-ahead from the chiropractor that that's okay to do. So, whew. Yes, definitely consistency is the key, says Philly Keto Mom. Yes. Without it, how do you succeed? I don't know. Good morning, guys. Yes. So thank you guys for being here. Carolyn said all of this is a mindset, not willpower. I don't know what I have against the whole concept of willpower, but to me, if we have such great will, why are we in a position where we need to make a change to be better? Because if we had great will and willpower, how did we get in that position to begin with? People did that when I lost weight initially. They're like, wow, you must have had such great willpower. And I'm just like, yeah, fuck that. No, I wouldn't have gotten to 410 pounds if I had willpower. No, what I had to accomplish the goal was want power. I wanted it so bad. I wanted to not be obese to that level. I wanted to be off of prescription medications. I wanted. And I guess that's an indirect way of saying your why. When you want something so badly, that's your why. Yeah, I don't like willpower at all. I think it kind of sends the wrong message. So yes, if you're joining us, I am out on my morning walk. I have been gone for the last 4 days at the biohacking conference in Orlando, Florida, Dave Asprey's big event. And I have missed you guys. I miss coming out on this trail and doing my walk. I'm coming up on the halfway point in about 5 minutes, and I'm going at a really good clip. Hello, Jules. I'm going at a really good clip. And remember the other day I went the furthest I've ever gone. Well, I'm on the same pace that I was the other day. That was the day after the bee stung me on the ear that I did that long pace. But today I just feel so energetic, so good. And I'm passing Caldwell Drive now. So there's Caldwell. So I'm going to continue down the trail, but there's Caldwell Drive. This is a really busy intersection this time of day sometimes. So let's just check. Yep, we're good. So I'll keep going. Like I said, I've got 5 more minutes before the halfway mark. So we will keep going a little bit. Just under 5 minutes, that is. maybe 3.5 minutes. But maybe I'll be able to get to that point I did the other day and then turn around and go all the way back. Missed you too, Ken Beth. Thank you for being here today. I see you guys coming along for these walks that I do as part of my consistency, as part of the routine. It's going to be funny because once the 100 days is over, y'all are going to be like, where's Jimmy? Maybe I'm becoming a part of your routine with all these videos I do in the mornings, but maybe I'll continue them on and just talk generally. Daily chats, walk and talk with Jimmy. We'll see. Maybe it'll become such a part of my life that I couldn't imagine stopping just because the challenge is over. So we shall see. But for now, you guys are my motivation to want to keep going. And here we are. Whew. It feels so good out here. The sun is supposed to be like hidden the next 3 days. It's all clouds and rain the next 3 days here in South Carolina. And yeah. All right. Looks like I'm gonna need to churn at this driveway here. So I will churn around as soon as I hit that driveway and go back. But yeah, it's gonna be really bad, pouring down rain this time tomorrow. So I don't want to get out of my consistent routine. It would be easy to just go to the mall and walk inside the mall. And I've done that one time when it was so hot and I needed to get the walk in. I went to the mall and I wasn't feeling great that day. And it was like all I could do to just get through it. So I don't want to go to the mall to walk. It's all flat. I do like being outside. I like the hills. And yeah, plus if I was in the mall, it would be weird talking to you guys on camera with people around. I try not to disturb people when I'm on an Instagram live. What's funny is it's morning for many of you, but night for me. I love it as my relaxed routine. Yes, you love seeing Jimmy sweat as your nighttime routine. That's cool. Yes, Jules, you're in, Australia, New Zealand, somewhere that end of the world. I have a lot of Aussies and Kiwis that follow my work. In fact, a few of them I play in Words with Friends, and I can always tell who my Aussie/Kiwi friends are because they play at certain times of the day, and then I wake up 2 or 3 in the morning and play a word, they're already playing again. So it's like, that's their nighttime. So, but yes, you guys, back at it, day number 20. I am still loving every minute of this journey. You know, when I started, I had high hopes that I would enjoy this, and I knew I would eventually. I can tell you those first 2 weeks, I did not enjoy every minute of this. The first 2 weeks, it was a bit of a trog with the injuries, with the freak accidents, like falling and skinning up my knee and twisting my ankle. None of that was expected. Having to take days off because I was just exhausted. But through all of that, I've stayed consistent in my routine. If I've had to take a break, I'm right back at it, consistent with the routine. The only place I have not been consistent in the things that I have outlined for myself to do is meditation. And I've talked with you guys about that. I shared this with a friend of mine over the weekend at the conference. And she's a fitness mindset kind of expert. Tara Garrison is her name. And I was telling Tara about the meditation being hard and because my mind wanders and da-da-da. And she said, Jimmy, let your mind wander. That's a part of the process. And I was like, So I'm still getting the benefits out of it. She said, oh, you'll get more benefits when you calm the mind, but just do it and stop making it weird. I'm like, okay, that's good. That's good advice. So I have been highly inconsistent with that part of my routine, but everything else very consistent, and pretty damn proud of that, because I have put in the work and I feel the effects of it. So that's good. It's 5:30 Mountain Time. I enjoy getting ready for work with you on your walk. Oh, that's cool, Miss Statius. And a lot of people watch these replays on IGTV and YouTube and Facebook. A lot of you guys have been very kind to me, cheering me on, and I believe it, that most of you want to see me succeed, because you want me to stick around a long time and keep sharing, which I plan on doing, by the way, for as long as the good Lord gives me breath. I will keep podcasting and book writing and all the things that I do. It is what drives me, is people. I love my peoples, which is why I enjoyed that conference over the weekend. There's my old halfway point. I enjoyed that conference this weekend so much. That's the first conference I've been to since the pandemic began. Since, actually, my last conference was one that I spoke at. It was in Toronto, the Great Canadian Keto Conference. I was the MC and I spoke, and that was in August of 2019. So here we are, September 2021, first conference back since the pandemic hit. So that was cool. It was nice to hug people. It was so neat the way they let you know if somebody was comfortable with hugging or not. They had you wear a wristband, and if you had a green wristband, that was like, come on in, give me all the hugs. If you had a yellow wristband, that was like, I'll talk to you, but let's stay 6 feet apart. And if they had a red wristband, it was usually accompanied by a mask. Stay the hell away from me. So that was kind of cool. I would say the vast majority of people had the green. There were a few yellows, not many, and a scattering of the stop, of the don't mess with me red. And even in the dining area, if you wore a red wristband, they had specific tables for you that were kind of separate from everybody else. So I thought that was a nice way to let people know who was good. But man, I got all the hugs in. I was telling a few people, yeah, last year I got 8 hugs the whole year, 8. When I'm used to thousands at these various conferences I go to. And so I had several people hug me multiple times. They're like, you got to make up for lost time. So I was trolled by people after posting here, and I don't post anywhere at all. Yeah, you'll always get that. You'll always get that. Did I meet anyone? I met a lot of people. A whole bunch of people. There was 3,000 people at this conference. And so, yeah, talked to a bunch of people. Look, I'm a people person. I schmooze. I know how to do that. So I live for those conferences. So now Dave Asprey has me pining to go to another conference. So I just found out the Las Vegas Keto Conference. It's still happening in October, but it is going to be way scaled back. Oh, I think it's starting to rain. I feel it raining on me. Uh-oh, I'm out here. I don't have anything to cover my camera with. It's pouring down rain, guys. It was not supposed to be raining today. Oh no. I mean, I like it on my body. It's just I don't want my phone to get wet. So I got my hand over it. That shower just popped up out of nowhere because it wasn't supposed to rain till this afternoon. And the weather was like, oh yeah, we're going to show you when it's supposed to. What kind of food did they offer at the conference? So Dave, you know, he's not keto per se, but he's definitely a believer in healthy fats, a believer in quality animal-based foods, and he does believe in vegetables. So I posted a few of the pictures of my meals on my stories. It was a little bit of meat, a whole lot of vegetables, and yeah. So the first day, I think it was grass-fed beef tips or something like that, and a big-ass green salad. The second day, they had salmon, which I don't do well with fish products in terms of hunger. I get hungry very quick after eating seafood. And so I ate it, and it came with like lettuce wedges and like an avocado dressing. So it wasn't bad, but it wasn't great either. And because this wasn't a keto conference, what was funny to me was all the vendors who had like chocolate and candy at their booths. And so I went on camera with a bunch of them. I remember the mouth taping lady. And I saw she had a big bowl of Snicker bars, Three Musketeer, Baby Root, all that kind of stuff. And I said, well, my keto fans may not like that. I can hide it. I'm like, you do what you want to do, but they'll say something if they see that. But others had Hershey Kisses. Yeah. I guess at conferences, that's how you draw people in. Here, have some free candy. But that would not fly at a keto conference. Whew. Yeah. That was a nice quick little shower. Still getting a little bit of sprinkles, but I am soaking wet now. And not from sweat. I do love a nice shower. Like I said, tomorrow I'm going to be out here at this time, and it's supposed to be like 90% chance of rain tomorrow. So, good morning. 90% chance of rain tomorrow. So I'll be doing like what that guy's doing with the umbrella. And that'll be okay. So guys, if you're just coming in, I am back. Been gone the last 4 days at the Biohacking Conference in Orlando, Florida. But I'm on day number 20 now of my Stay Batical 250. This is my 100-day journey to transform my body and my mind. And yeah, just to see if I can do this. Whole bunch of things coming up. Oh, so thank you, Kira. She's asking if I'm still going to the conference in Las Vegas. So because there have been so many people, vendors mostly, backing out of fears with the Black Plague, they're actually scaling it way back. They had paid my ticket to get there in terms of to get into the event. I still had to pay my flight. But they said because so many are backing out, they don't have the funds to now let me come. So no, I will not be attending. It's still happening, but it's going to be way scaled back. I think they're not even going to have that much of a conference floor now. It'll just be the speaking, which that's cool and all. But part of the magic of going to a conference is getting to meet various companies that are involved and meet people, of course. And usually the conference floor with all the vendors is where you end up meeting a lot of people, not necessarily sitting in the lectures. And I've done the lecture thing so long, I don't even go to the lectures. It's nothing about the speakers. It's just most of those lectures either has information I've heard before, or they'll be available after the conference is over. And even Dave Asprey said that at his conference. He said, don't try to go see everything. You can't. You literally can't. If you're trying to see everything, you can't. And so just enjoy each other. And I learned that lesson many years ago. When I go to conferences, I really don't go to the talks. I go to the vendors and create relationships for potential sponsors for my podcast down the road. I also create relationships with people. I probably got recognized 40 or 50 times at this conference. So that was cool. And I, of course, am gracious to people when they come say hi and take a picture and all the things. Obviously hug. I don't know how many hugs I got, but it was a bunch. Bunch. Send the rain in Nebraska. It's so dry here. Well, Amelia, I wish I could. That's the way it goes. But yes, guys, day 20 here of this sabbatical to 50. I'm feeling good. Almost 3 weeks into this thing. Day 20 makes it 1/5 of the way through. 100 days I knew was going to be daunting. I always knew it was going to be daunting. But it didn't scare me. Because I knew if I got started and I got to stay accountable like I am to you guys, that I could stay at it and stay consistent. And look, quite frankly, I've been very honest about challenges I've faced, the need to take a break. I'll tell you one thing I've done since I started this is I have pretty much dropped for now, the second walk. So I had put into my routine 2 60-minute walks a day. And when I talked to an exercise friend of mine, longtime friend, knows all the ins and outs of everything about exercise, I said, yeah, I'm doing 2 60-minute walks. I said, I know that doesn't sound like much. He said, Jimmy, I do 2 20 to 30-minute walks. And it's everything I can do to be consistent with that. He said, are you getting exhausted after the second walk? I said, yeah. He said, it's because it's too much. I'm like, okay, that's good food for thought. And so I still would like to, by the end, have a walk in the morning and a walk in the afternoon. And by the end of this journey, it's going to be cold enough that there's no more problems with heat exhaustion. And maybe I've lost enough body fat that I won't be so privy to the effects of the weather anymore. I'm still struggling with the heat of the sauna. And I'm hoping that shifts at some point. I'm sure it will. It almost has to. The byproduct of me being hot and enjoying the cold bath, by the way, the reason I like that so much is my body temperature is pretty hot. And so I think that's why I like the cold so much. So it'd be interesting if at some point something switches to make me not like the cold as much, but then tolerate the heat more. I will be paying attention to that kind of thing as this journey progresses. Woo! But it's a brand new week, you guys. I hope whatever goals you have for yourself, things you want to challenge yourself with, that you have a plan about how you're going to be consistent and about how you're going to do it on a regular basis. Because if you have a plan and you have a routine and you get consistent with it and you do it, then that's how you succeed. You can't succeed without that kind of a routine. Here's the beautiful puppy. We cross every day. You walk the same time I do. So that would be my edification to you guys today, is just get consistent. Stop letting your mind tell you that you can't with whatever. Because I'm here to tell you, whatever it is, you can. You can. And if you start telling yourself you can't, think about it this way. You got this little bucket, and in the bucket, When you say you can, it rises. When you say you can't, it goes down. It starts at about a third of the way full. That's your ability. And then you say, I can, it goes a little more. I can, it goes a little more. I can, it goes a little more. And when your cup gets full, there is nothing that could stop you from accomplishing whatever goal you have. Within reason, of course. Don't say, I want to go play in the NFL. Yeah, good luck with that. But you know what I'm talking about. Goals for yourself. Get off of blood pressure medication, for example. Which, by the way, there was a cool little gizmo called the Zona Plus. Z-O-N-A and then P-L-U-S at this conference. And it's basically this thing you just grip. It's called isometric exercise. And you grip and you squeeze, and then you hold it to this level that's your average. Well, it's harder than it sounds, because if you don't squeeze hard enough, it gives you like a warning sign that says squeeze harder. If you squeeze too hard, it gives you a warning sign that says squeeze less. You kind of have to keep it in a certain level, and then it says hold when you're in that level. And so I did that, and you're supposed to do I think it's 2 minutes, and then switch hands, 2 minutes, and then you do 2 rounds of that with both hands. So 4 total rounds. Go watch that video if you did not see that. But that's supposed to, in 6 weeks, lower your blood pressure, significantly, by 15%. Just that little exercise. And if you made that a challenge, a goal for yourself, how hard is that? Not really hard, but you'd have to be consistent with it. You'd have to make it a part of your routine of that 10 minutes to get that accomplished. I did freak them out because they had 2 of the devices, and I said, has anybody done 2 at one time? Or have one in one hand and one in the other hand. Has anybody ever attempted to do both at the same time? They're like, no, it's probably impossible. So Jimmy grabs both of them and says, let's see how impossible is. And then I did it. They were like, how did you do? I wish I'd gotten that on camera. But that was cool. But the point is, here today, set yourself up to succeed. Have that routine ready to go. Be consistent in that routine. You guys see me out here on this trail, even when it poured down rain in the middle of my walk. I'm still going like the Energizer Bunny. Nothing will stop me because I've made this a consistent routine. I've made the goal for myself of what I'm trying to accomplish here. And that's all you need to do. People are like, wow, I just admire what you're doing. It's great to see you out there working and da-da-da-da, but I could never do that. I get that all the time, you guys. And I'm like, why? Well, I don't know if I have that kind of commitment. I can't be consistent like that, da-da-da-da-da, and they come up with all the excuses. Kids, job, tired. And I'm not saying those aren't somewhat valid in the right context. But if it's something worth doing, something contributing to your life in a positive way, you will make the time, you will figure it out. And if it means you give up something else that isn't adding value to your life so that you can do this thing that will add value to your life, you'll do it. Just think through today. If you're one of those people that thinks you don't have time, you don't have whatever, just think through. Look in your life. Only you know your life. Look in your life. Where do you invest your time and your energy into? Think about that. It's so easy to say, well, I can't give up X. You fill in what X is. Couldn't give up X, even though X is not providing you the things that you want, the truly things you want. Maybe a little temporal enjoyment in life you get from X, but does it add long-term value? Now, I'm not saying everything you do has to give you long-term value, but if it comes down to doing things that give you long-term value versus things that don't, you need to put in at least a percentage of your time into those things that will add value. And so if you're not doing that, start thinking about those ways that you can. Here's the second hill I'm on. I'm at the end of the walk. So this hill at the very end, it's appropriately at the very end because I know my house is right over there. So I get to the top of this hill, it's a 5-minute walk and I'm home. And so that kind of motivates me. It's good that it's placed here. If this was in the middle of the walking trail, I'd be like, but I got a goal. I got something I can see. And so if I can see it from here, that pushes me to get to the top. And that's a nice imagery for this whole journey. I can see day 100. It's a long way away, but I can see it. I know it's coming. And I know by the time I get there, I'm gonna be a whole hell of a lot better off than I am right this moment, than I was day 1, than I will be on day 50, and even day 70. Day 100 is gonna be glorious. And I'm excited to get there. Dana said, I loved all your updates from the conference. Thank you. That was a lot of fun. Of course, they didn't hate it. They got free plug from me. And there was some truly cool stuff. Like I said, I didn't get around to featuring everybody. I really would have loved to have done more of them, but I was only there for 2 days by design. I had to get back yesterday because I've got a podcast today and then another thing right after the podcast. So if I stayed all day yesterday, I would have had to drive home today, get up super early. I'd be driving home right now. And then as soon as I get in, turn right around, do a podcast, do this other thing. And as tired as I was when I got home yesterday, I would have not been in a good physical state. Plus it would have been one more missed day with you guys doing this walking in the morning. So I did not want to do that. Good morning, ladies. So, thank you, Dana. I did enjoy doing all those updates. What's for breakfast? Holly, today is a fasting day, my dear. So ketones are my breakfast. So the last time I ate was yesterday at noon. So I will likely break the fast after 24 hours at noon today. So I've got plenty of grass-fed beef and pastured eggs, all kinds of stuff in my fridge. I'm not making the food real frilzy. I don't really care. It's just fuel at this point. Alternating between like a 24-hour fast and then eating. So I don't feel this need to have variety and have recipes and blah, blah, blah. So yeah, I keep it pretty basic. I have been on a stroganoff kick lately. Those of you that watched my stories, I had it yesterday when I got home. That's what I ate at noon yesterday, was stroganoff. So it's just basically grass-fed beef, cooked in a pan. I add a little bit of heavy cream. I add in some cream cheese, put in some mozzarella cheese, and just stir it until it's all ooey gooey. And then put it on a plate, and then put some sour cream on top of that. And it's so good. It's so good. Appreciate you, buddy. Thank you, Jules. Dale says, thanks for all the short video clips at the Biohacking Conference. It was as if I was there in person. Appreciate your effort. Thank you. I would have loved to have done more, but I think I got a bunch. In fact, at one point I was like, I hope this isn't annoying because it's a million IG lives, but people seemed to enjoy it. Kind of keeps you on the cutting edge of what's out there. And honestly, if I had unlimited funds, I would get most of that stuff. The problem is you have to kind of budget what you can get based on your own budget. So some of the things I'm doing now, like walking, fasting, grounding, meditation, these are all things that are free. So if you do all the free things, and you can add in a few of the other things. By the way, I do the vibration plate to move the lymph, but another alternative to the vibration plate is bouncing exercises. So if you have one of those little mini trampolines, you can just bounce up and down on the mini trampoline and you get the same effect as the vibration plate. Now, I enjoy the vibration plate. In fact, I saw one called Power Plate at the conference, and it's much stronger than mine. So, plus it had a little bit of a balance aspect to it. Mine is flat, don't worry about balancing, but this one vibrated, but it also forced you to balance, which made your leg muscles tense up, so you get even more intensity from the vibration. So that was pretty cool. But that gizmo was $6,000, and I'm going, no, I can't do that. I'd have to sell a hell of a lot of books to get to $6,000. I'm trying to cross this road, and suddenly a bunch of people want to come. All right. See, believe, achieve. Yes. When you see it, you believe it, and then you achieve it. I've always loved that. Yes, thank you, Jules. It looks so good. Thank you. That stroganoff you're referring to. It is. I got on a kick there for a few days where I did it with grass-fed beef. That's still my favorite way to do it because that's beef stroganoffs, kind of the traditional way. Then I did it with pork sausage. That was good, surprisingly. Then I did it with Italian sausage, and that was... it was okay. It was still edible, and I enjoyed eating it, but it wasn't as good as the other ways. It's like pizza. It's kind of hard to mess up pizza. Some are better than others, though. Holly, thank you for buying a badge, and if you want to support my work, you guys, there is a little badge thing down there. Just click on that, and it gives you various options, and that helps support my work here, if you like all these Instagram lives that I do. But yes, day 20, guys. Sabbatical to 50 is still going strong. It's a 100-day journey going all the way to December the 10th. I turned 50 years old December 27th. So that's where I came up with sabbatical to 50. Plus I'm doing it 50 days and then having you guys join me for the last 50 days. So thank you for joining me in this journey. I have thoroughly enjoyed getting to hang out with you guys on a daily basis. It's a lot of fun, even when I get rained on. That actually was refreshing, and I would not mind it if I wasn't on camera. I was a little more worried about my iPhone getting drenched, which I know they're water resistant, but still, you don't want to get too much water. But staying consistent in a routine, so valuable. Hopefully, by this point in the video, you've figured that part out. So, all right, guys, I can see my house from here. Gonna pop in the sauna and get cleaned up, go get a chiropractic adjustment, do some of the other biohacks. Got an interview at 1 p.m. on Instagram Live. Then another appointment at 2 that I need to go to. Busy day, but we're gonna get this done. Go take on your day, and we'll see you guys again soon. Bye, guys.